opinions expressed by the On the Spot with David Rodgers show are solely based on the show's hosts, guests, and viewers, and we are solely responsible for all show content in its entirety and does not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of our sponsors in any way. These broadcasts are presented and made public by the On the Spot with David Rodgers show in the hope that it'll be entertaining and informative to our viewers and listening audience.
Good Tuesday evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to On the Spot with David Rodgers. Tonight sponsored by Miracle Automotive and Towing in Starkville McClinney. When you have an automotive crisis, don't pray for a miracle. Call Miracle. And by On My Way, the app that pays you not to use your phone. Avoid texting and driving. Use On My Way. Visit our Facebook page for the link to sign up. This is your show, coming to you on Facebook and YouTube every Tuesday and Saturday night. You control and run this show. We are just a rudder that steers this big old vessel. We bring it to you first for education, discussion, and debate of local news, politics, and sports, as well as the latest on the COVID-19 situation and the breaking news around this great nation. We have you covered from Middleburg to Waldo to Williston, from Melrose to McIntosh, from Lake City to Lake Butler, Lake Como, from Lottie to Lulu. I did have a spotting today, Austin. It was one of your family members. And all points in between, including Gainesville, Palatka, Ocala, and, of course, right here in beautiful Stark, Florida. Now, here's your on-the-spot team making it happen every single week. First, putting it all together behind the scenes, our executive producer, Super Dave Holland. Say hello, David.
Hello, everybody.
And our director, Michael the Dragon Slayer Heater, sitting in tonight for our local guru, Mr. Mitchell Gunner. Say hello, Michael.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show.
And my co-host, our historian and American patriot, Byron Jeff Bagwell. What's up there, Byron?
Good evening, infidels and
boy.
Patriots and all you lovely people out there. And before we forget,
And Dominion investigators.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
There you go. And rounding out the team is Austin Storm Chaser Stevens with the weather. Say hello, Austin.
Good evening, everyone. Tracking a winter storm on the horizon.
It's going to
All
rain.
right. Well, you're almost right, Byron. And our great media partners, WAG Eagle Country 106.3 FM, Chuck and Mary Kramer and Lynn Bellis, and the Bradford County Telegraph and its great staff. And joining us tonight, we have a special guest coming up right around the 7:45 hours, so stay tuned for that. I'm your host, David Rodgers, the voice of the Bradford High Tornadoes, and
The show pony.
Oh my goodness, there you go. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. We are coming to you live from the On the Spot studios right here along historic Call Street in beautiful downtown Stark, Florida. Only 1,349 miles from Bethel, Maine, who holds the world record for the tallest snowman ever built. 122 feet and 1 inch. Slightly smaller than the Statue of Liberty, David. How about that? How about that for a trivia fact?
Snowman.
And you know who that snowman was replicated from?
No tell.
Mr. Byron Bagwell.
I can believe.
I can believe that too. So they built that snowman on your behalf.
On my behalf?
Yes, sir.
The only thing that I've seen that big was Sasquatch and Lulu.
Well, speaking of some of your relatives,
okay.
anyway, we'll talk about that later. So let's get started as we always do with our prayer, our pledge, and our patriotic wisdom and quote of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, please, let's bow our heads. Our righteous Heavenly Father, let us once thank you again for a wonderful and glorious day you've given us, dear Lord. Thank you for this time that we have with this show, all the people on this show, dear Lord, and our special guest, as we know she's out there doing something for our community, dear Lord, that's going to touch each and every one of those people that she's going to be helping from here through Christmas, dear Lord. Thank you again for a wonderful week that you've given us and another wonderful weekend that you're going to have in store for us. Thank you for letting us live in the greatest country in the world today, the United States of America. Thank you for our armed forces, dear Lord, as they are out there protecting our rights, our liberties, and our freedoms. Please keep a hedge of protection over them, dear Lord, as they're fighting, as I said, for our rights, our liberties, and our freedoms. Please bring them back home to their families, whatever time frame that may be, dear Lord. Thank you for the food that we receive each and every day, that it goes to the nourishment of our bodies and our bodies to thy service. Thank you again, dear Lord, just for all and everything that you do. Thank you for this Christmas holiday season, dear Lord. that we uplift you in this season, dear Lord, because it is about you and what you do and what you have done for us, dear Lord. Thank you, and thank you again for that. Also, thank you for just letting us be here. Again, anybody with a special prayer request, or spoken or unspoken, please touch their hearts, their minds, and their souls, dear Lord. The family members, whoever's involved, you're the ultimate healer. You can make things happen, dear Lord, that doctors sometimes can. Again, thank you for this time. Thank you for this week that you're going to give us and the upcoming weekend. And we ask for these things in your Son's name, Jesus Christ. And the congregation says,
Amen.
Right. Let us stand for the pledge. And I'm going to ask Mr. Brian Bagwell if he leads.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Man. See it. All right, Mr. Bagwell. It's your time. Whoa, well, we might talk to Mr. Holland about that one. But what do you have for us for patriotic wisdom or quote of the night, brother?
You have one?
I do.
Let me pull this up real quick.
Yeah, why don't you pull that up? Because I do have one. Actually, I have a couple of them.
Okay.
So, all right. Sonia, how about this one? Do you want positive results and change? Look in the mirror. It starts with you. Who do you think said that?
Oh, I don't know.
Michael Jackson?
Oh.
Michael? Not Michael Jackson. Well,
Right.
maybe close.
I'm sorry. That was
Maybe you're probably in the neighborhood.
I'd have to defer to the expert.
All right. Dave? Guess?
I have no idea.
Austin?
I don't know.
The show pony said that.
Oh,
That was on one of my quotes of the week.
Wow.
If you've seen some on my Facebook, that was
yeah.
from last week.
Yes.
All right, here we go. Yep, so there's one. In the end, it's not the years in your life that count. It's the life in your years. Which famous president said that?
Something tells me that was one of the Roosevelts, but I
In
could
the
be
end,
wrong.
it's not the years in your life that count. It's the life in your years.
I don't think it's correct, but I was thinking Kennedy.
Okay. Son?
Oh, I don't know.
David? Austin? Okay, I'll give it to you. The 16th president of the United States.
Oh.
Abe Lincoln.
Abraham.
Yeah, Abe Lincoln. All right. You have something, Aaron?
Sure.
All right, well, come on with it.
Tyranny, like hell, is not easily conquered, yet we have this consolation with us, that the harder the conflict, the more glorious the triumph. What we obtain too cheap, we esteem too lightly. It is dearness only that gives everything its value.
That's not bad. That's a founding forefather, isn't it?
Not really. He had very close ties to the founding fathers.
Okay, that's what I was just going to say.
Very, very close ties to the founding fathers. Some people do call him the founding father, but he's really not.
Jefferson.
I'm going to say John Jay.
Nope.
Okay.
John Jay was a founding
He
father.
was. That's what I thought. Right?
Thomas.
Close to the founding fathers.
Really, really close to the first president.
Washington's.
By close as in
Actually, was,
familial or
Do they?
no, actually was tagging along with the Continental Army during the Revolutionary War.
Is he a doctor?
John that?
No, but that's a good guess. There's another
Yeah,
one.
there's
There's another
yeah.
one.
Do they have they named a beer after him?
No.
No, you talking about Samuel Adams?
But
Yeah.
I will give you another quote of his,
Okay.
and it has to do with Sunshine Patriots.
Okay.
That's Sunshine Patriots. He coined that term.
You got me on this one.
That would be Mr. Thomas Paine.
I'll be dadgum. Okay.
That was my
Yeah.
next guess.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. All right, Dave. Before we delve into today's latest, we want to recognize our great sponsors that have been supporting our great show. This is our sponsor spotlight. Fun Point Food and Arcade, Southern Gem Photography, Miracle Automotive and Recovery, and Dependable Waste Services.
And Williams Jewelry on Call Street. On the Spot Lawn Maintenance, Schuster and Saban Law Offices, and the Downtown Grill.
Yeah, exactly. Every Business of Stark, home of the $10 haircut, Boogie Nights DJ service, and of course, Brittany Leanne Creations.
Right. Yeah, you better do that.
Yeah, you know I got it.
And how about our newest sponsor, On My Way? Get paid cash for every mile you and your friends drive without texting or using your phone. You get paid 5 cents cash for every mile you drive and don't text. Check out the On the Spot link on our Facebook page. On My Way, the app that saves lives. Sonia, I'm going to prove it to you. Michael, how much money you got in your account?
I can tell you right quick that I'm going to just spin right over here with a quick push.
Mhm.
And for those of you that are interested, I haven't been doing a lot of driving this week.
Right.
Been working in the office.
Right.
So I'm only at $1,423.87.
That'll
How
just
about that?
do it.
That'll just about do it
I
right
got
there.
this really nice guitar that I'm looking at. It's handmade in Spain.
Mhm.
And that just about do it.
That'll just about do it, see?
Just about.
So you need to sign up for the app.
Good.
You should sign up for the
I
app.
thought he was going to give me that money.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No. I've already tried to get that money out of
I-
that stingy guy.
Now, I can tell you that I've already got somebody special planned for that money.
No, I don't want to get you in that trouble.
No.
no,
he-
I don't want to get you in that
No,
trouble.
Uncle Sam is the owner of all that.
Well, I can say he drove hard to get
Yes,
that
he
cash.
did.
Yes, I do.
Yes, you did. So I'll give you that much.
There you go.
All right. Now, here's the 360, taking you around the region with news and weather in just 6 minutes. It's 360 degrees in 360 seconds. Tonight, brought to you by Fun Point Food and Arcade and Start. Check out the all-new menu on Facebook or www.funpointstart.com. 2 people were killed last Saturday when a vehicle headed north on US 301 lost control and hit 2 pedestrians who were walking alongside their bikes on US 301 near Northwest 264th Street, north of Lottie. The Florida Highway Patrol says 1 pedestrian was pronounced deceased on the scene, while the other was transported to Orange Park Hospital, where they were pronounced dead on arrival. I want to tell you a little something about that, if I may. So, you know, I had that DJing gig, right? Correct. So, this is how I know God is there's always a reason for everything and how God has got a plan for you. So we got called to do this DJ gig. It was over in Maxville. A place called All One Farms. As soon as you make the turn on 218 right there and you go down, it's about 4 miles on the left. Roughly 3 to 4 miles. You probably know exactly where I'm talking about. It's a nice, pretty house. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's where that wedding was held out. It was Brady Rayberg and Vera Barnes'
yeah.
wedding. So we DJ'd that, me and JD Norman. But anyway, we was heading toward this wedding, and the trailer that we were pulling that had all our equipment in had a flat tire. So we had to turn around and go back.
Wow.
So we went back, and we unloaded it, put it in the truck that we were in, covered everything up. And do you know that we missed that accident by like 2 minutes? We rode by that accident. We was wondering why the lights were already there. What if that would have been us?
Oh,
Even
man.
JD was saying the whole time, what if that trailer swayed or that tire gave at that particular moment?
Right.
You know, so thank goodness. I haven't told you that story yet, but thank goodness that it wasn't us. But I just hated the whole story, period. It's a very sad story.
A smile on the face. That's
Yeah, it sure will.
That tractor trailer that caught fire on the south end of the bypass.
Right.
I was in front of that truck 5 seconds.
Isn't that crazy?
I passed, and boom, that happened right behind me. But I didn't see it until I went down to Walmart and turned around and came back.
Right.
And it was already engulfed.
There you go. A school guardian assigned to Middleburg Middle School has been arrested by Clay County deputies after cocaine was discovered in his vehicle on school grounds. A police canine alerted to the drugs. Douglas Batchelor Batchelor, okay, was taken into custody after a white substance was found in the suspect's wallet. He admitted to possession of cocaine, and he was booked straight into the Clay County Jail. Also in Clay County, a driver has died following a single vehicle crash in Keystone Heights. The 62-year-old driver lost control of his car on Temple Avenue in Keystone and struck a tree around 4:15 yesterday afternoon. The investigation by the FHP is continuing. A Chiefland resident is facing a serious charges after Levy County deputies say he sexually battered a child and posted images online.
Oh,
Detectives say they received a report from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children that pointed to 26-year-old Christian Harrelson. He was already wanted on a probation warrant, so deputies arrested him and seized his phone right away. They found multiple images depicting him with children. Harrelson is facing sexual battery of a victim under 12 and child pornography charges. His bond was set, Michael, at $6.2 million. I hope that money's never raised, to be honest with you.
I'm
ladies
glad
and
he's
gentlemen.
off the road.
I'm glad he's off the dadgum streets.
In that area, that's probably more for his protection than it
Yes,
is
it
for
is.
people's
For other
protection.
people's protection.
Well, you know,
right.
the prison system inside, they have their own set of laws.
They have their own. Yep, they have their own set of dealings there. So I'm sure. High Springs workers spent most of Sunday dealing with a water line break on Post Springs Road in front of the industrial park. A boil water advisory was issued after repairs were made, and it remains in effect until Wednesday. Marion County deputies received a large donation of teddy bears and homemade blankets from the On Top of the World community to share with children and families in need throughout the year. The community took a great deal of time hand making the blankets and pairing them with a teddy bear for children in need. It's nice, good stuff. Tickets are now on sale for the 35th annual Clay County Fair. The 10-day event will be on State Road 16 outside Green Cove Springs from April 1st through the 11th, which is my birthday. And tickets are available at www.claycountyfair.org. You know I said that, Byron? Because I want you to buy me a ticket.
Well, it's my birthday, too.
Yes, it is. We're all nine Dwight's.
Dwight's too?
Maybe we can get Michael to buy them all.
With that cash you got
Yes,
over
you
there.
can. He can buy them. Yeah, he can buy tickets.
We have to
Yeah.
fight Uncle Sam for that one, but I'm sure we could work something out.
And now, here is your weather update, sponsored by Austin's Weather Service out of Keystone Heights. Find AWS on Facebook for the latest information. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in our esteemed colleague, the guy that knows all, says all, is all about weather. He is Austin Storm Chaser Steven.
It's going to rain. Sorry.
You're not part of my team, Gavin.
Okay, I got you.
Anyways, Mr. Heater is. So if he says it's going to rain, then more than likely it came from me. But anyways.
He told me it was going to snow.
What? Anyways.
Moving on.
What was that? Anyways, everyone, welcome. The forecast is calling for showers and a chance of thunderstorms tomorrow. Not expecting severe weather besides our southern zones like Marion County and all that. If temperatures rise above 70 degrees Fahrenheit, a cold front will move through, with bringing down our temperatures on Thursday to around 60 and upper 50s on Friday. But the warmer weather will return for a short time at the end of this weekend into next week with patchy dense fog overnight. Christmas is looking cool and around average. Back to you, David. Plus, also, if you have family up north, tell them to stay safe with that 20 inches of snow. They can keep it.
Wow.
Wow, all right. Thank you. And once again, this weather report brought to you by Austin's Weather Service out of Keystone Heights. Find AWS on Facebook and get a local forecast sent right to you. And now, reliving a little Bradford County history, here's What's the Date? These are the headlines from the Bradford County Telegraph in the first week of what year? Second ranked zoning official suspended, demoted. Cable TV expanded locally, and property owners protest toll road. Plans for local interchange unclear. These are the Bradford Telegraph headlines from December 1986, December 1987, and or December of 1988. Here we go. Now reliving it. There we go. Second-rank zoning officials suspended or demoted. Cable TV expanded locally. And property owners protest toll road. Plans for local interchange unclear. These are the Bradford Telegraph headlines. Were from what year? December of 1986, December of 1987, or December of 1988? Michael, give us a little background on this.
Well, sure, absolutely. Bradford County Programs Director Daryl O'Neill suspended Assistant Zoning Director Janet Turner, charging her with being uncooperative with her superior and being rude to the public. Turner was also demoted to a secretarial position.
Ooh.
Clay Cablevision announced an expansion of cable television services east of the city of Stark into Country Club Estates and the neighboring areas. Cable TV expansion into Sampson City and Lincoln City and other areas of the county was to be expected in the next 12 months. And finally, a large crowd of residents packed a courtroom to voice a resounding no to a proposed Jacksonville to Tampa toll road coming through Bradford County. The initial plans and setup were scrapped due to the plan being basically facing a, quote, considerable public outcry.
All right. These are the headlines from the Bradford Telegraph in the first week of what year? Second-ranked zoning officials suspended, demoted. Cable TV expanded locally. Property owners protest toll road. Plans for local interchange unclear. Was that from December of 1986, December of 1987, and December of 1988? Those are your three choices, ladies and gentlemen. We want you to play at home. All you guys are on. First and foremost, thank you for joining us on the Spot with David Rodgers. I am your host, David Rodgers. To my left, our political guru, the guy that knows all when it comes to national government, politics, anything going on in the world today, is you, Mr. Byron Bagwell.
Hello, everybody.
Mr. Austin, there you go. Mr. Austin Stevens giving us the weather. Mr. Dave Holland producing in the back. And right here is our director, and sitting in for Mr. Mitchell Gunner, who needed a night off. He said he was real tired from this weekend. I know it took a lot to help put that together. So,
We'll talk
Mitchell, we've got you on here. We love you. We'll give you a break tonight, but don't miss next week. No, I'm only kidding. So, nothing going on this weekend. And we have a special guest. We got Sonya Stack with us tonight, who we're fixing to introduce here in just a few minutes. And she's going to talk about some of the great things her and her organization are doing this Christmas as well. But first, let's get to some answers. Mr. Bagwell, before we go to our people, give me a guess.
This is not much of a guess.
I know it. You know it, don't you?
It's 87.
Okay. Byron Bagwell says 87. Austin?
I'll go with Mr. Distracting Me with Snow, politically correct Bagwell.
All right.
87.
Politically correct. All right.
That's
David?
pretty good.
Or Donald?
You props
87, Donald says. All right. David?
87.
Yep, I figured that. All right. Sonya?
87.
Yep, I think everybody's pretty much going to nail this one.
Oh, boy.
Michael?
I got a watch party.
Oh, you got a watch party. Okay. I'm going 1987, too.
All right.
All
I've
right.
got Robert McGee, who says
Yeah.
1987.
We're going to have a lot of people on this.
That's a good guess, David.
Shirley
right.
Bagwell also said 1987.
I figured she did. All right.
There you go.
Shirley, okay.
Who else you got?
Who else you got?
Now that's the only guess that I've got. I got
Okay,
people
David,
on
who do you
sign
have?
but
I
no other
got
guesses.
Mark Udi,
Yeah, what does he say?
87.
Mark, okay.
All these people are saying 87. I'll just go through
All
their
right,
names.
just go through the names.
Randy Brooks, Dwight Allen,
Yep,
Mitchell Gunter,
okay.
Wait.
Jennifer Davis,
Okay.
Marie
Monroe.
Monroe. Yeah.
Yeah.
She says 87.
She says 87.
Okay.
Raymond No,
Uh-huh.
Shirley Bagwell,
Yeah, we got it.
Tammy Testone,
Tammy says 87. Okay.
and then Will Smith says 88.
Says 88. Interesting.
Sure you don't want to change your mind, Will?
Oh, well, wait a minute. Roy Jackson sang 88. Too.
Okay,
Uh-oh.
maybe they know something we don't know.
Oh,
All right.
boy.
All I can hear is the theme
Right.
to the Blue Angels that Van Halen put out that same year. So,
John Pro says 1900. Good grief, man. No. No.
Benny Jackson,
Uh-huh.
87.
87, okay.
Bonnie Stevens,
Yep.
87. Clay Stack,
Uh-huh.
87.
Okay, Clay says 87, okay. All right.
He chimed in.
He chimed in? All right. All right. First, before I give Mr. Heater to give us the answer, Miss Shirley Bagwell, you were the winner of the November contest. So we got Raymond No, we've got Shirley Bagwell, and now we're already into December. It looks like we've got a lot of names here, Michael, if that answer is indeed 1987. So without further ado, ready, Byron? Drum roll. All right, give it to us there, Michael.
That's it. Hey, simply put, Janet Turner suspended Cablevision coming to the Country Club Estates, and protesters complaining about a toll road. Oh boy, did y'all back the wrong horse, folks. Let's hear it for Will Smith and Roy Jackson.
Oh!
It was December 1988.
Oh!
Ah, they knew something we didn't know.
Yep.
I got caught up in the 87 thing with everybody else.
I think we all did. Wow, Will Smith and Roy Jackson, two names going.
There you go.
Going into the pot for the end of the month.
December drawing. There
You
go.
know, it was funny because Will Smith come real quickly with that.
Yeah.
And I was like, what does Will Smith don't know that we all don't know?
well,
So, yeah.
I guess I know now.
Yeah.
some
Some of that was high school days. Most of y'all were in high school.
That's true.
I was riding with the Pony Express at that time, so was I am. But anyway, all right. So, great job by everybody on that. I guess Will and Roy.
I don't
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
I don't think I'll be following.
Yeah, they won't be following us anymore, will they?
All right.
All right. Again, welcome into On the Spot with David Rodgers. We're going to get right to it. Filling in for Mitchell Gunner is our esteemed director, Mr. Michael Heater. Michael, what do you got on the local front for us today?
Hey, just a couple of things to talk about. For those of you that want some breaking news. Oh,
Yeah, go ahead.
my bad.
Break it.
No, real quick here.
Yeah.
Okay.
one more second.
Real quick.
Hey, Albie.
Hey, Albie!
Albie!
Hey,
Albie!
It was great seeing Albie at the Christmas on Call Street. We'll
Yep.
talk about that in just a moment. But first, some breaking news coming out of Bradford County. Rachel Roden, the county manager, has announced her resignation. She has accepted a position as deputy clerk of court. She'll be working under Denny Thompson, who, of course, won the election.
Right.
As clerk of court, she'll be starting here in a few weeks. Hey, for those of you interested in the Miss Bradford High School pageant, will be held on February 26th. Applications are due February 5th. Janet Hewitt at 904-769-9647. She's the point of contact. I can give you all the information on the spot page, but you're faster just to go to the Bradford High School page on Facebook for links to download the application itself. This morning was the last day of Shop with a Cop here in the city of Stark. Hundreds of kids showed up for this event. It was an amazing turnout.
Right.
Each student got a $100 shopping spree with a law enforcement officer at the Walmart. This is the 16th year of the event that's been put together by Stark Police Department Major Barry Warren. It gets bigger and better every year, and they did not disappoint. It was an amazing turnout again this year like that one. And also, real quick, Santa was a huge hit at Downtown Grill Saturday morning for Breakfast with Santa, and on Monday evening with Dinner with Santa, as children of all ages, including a few of us half a century old, had dinner with Santa. And had a really
Well,
good
speak
time
for
with
yourself.
that. Yeah, I enjoyed
Half
it.
a century.
He didn't tell kids they couldn't get Nerf guns, did they?
No.
he did not.
And and on a personal observation, it was great because there was actual real interaction. I know there's locations in the People's Republic of Alachua that have plexiglass and all this other stuff.
Right.
No, this was done. It was a fantastic event. This was the culmination of the Christmas on Call Street event that started on Friday and worked its way through Saturday night. A couple of little miscues. We had some illegal drivers going down through barricades, and we had one of the carriages was struck by a vehicle. Unfortunately, no injury. and we were able to kind of get that situation rectified. And no other major incidents as a result of this one. There is already plans in the works. A planning committee is being organized for next year's event, and we are looking at, brace yourselves, folks. Yes, we are working on setting a date for the next Bradford Touch-A-Truck is coming back to Bradford County.
Nice.
We had a request to have it hosted downtown. We've also had a request to go back to the fairgrounds. One place or the other, it's going to happen. Probably in late spring, early summer, depending on how we play things out. But I'm excited to announce that the Touch-A-Truck is coming back. Joe Gunter will be helping with the organization of that one because we're probably going to tie in a car show, Jeep clubs, and some other events like that to make it a really big event.
Since Mitchell Gunner's helping, do it in both places.
Well, that's what we're thinking about. We're probably going to end up having it.
Nice.
It's going to be too big to do downtown with the construction. However, once the overpass is completed, we're going to have literally 10 blocks to be able to work this entire event. So eventually downtown is going to be the place to be for all special events. But we are excited that Bradford Touch-A-Truck is making its return in 2021.
Yeah.
And if you can't be there because of some sort of form, once you can't get there, if you're handicapped or whatever, On the Spot with David Rodgers, we'll be there doing it live as we did last year. Great views off of that. I think we had over 1,000 views on that show. And it was just awesome. We had people coming up and talking with us. You can catch that on the Spot with David Rodgers as soon as this man comes up with a date, and we'll let you know that as well.
Absolutely.
Also, second annual Christmas on Falls Creek Festival car and truck show happened, as Michael just said. Mitchell Gunner was the organizer of that. They said they had a great turnout this year. They had a total of nearly 40 vehicles. Years range from the late 20s to 2020 models. This year had an event, a total of 11 awards that was sponsored by Making the Cut, Sheffield Pest Control, Bernie's Customs, the Shops at Thompson Street, Lightning Pond, Interday Bridal, North Florida Regional Chamber of Commerce, Libby's Art of Healing, Massage and Wellness, G-Man's New and Used Harley Parts, Williams Jewelry, and Mitchell Gunner himself. Gunner says they are going to try to increase the awards next year to 21. He believes this will happen with, as Mike said, the increased participation for the future. To help with the cost for next year's event, the event had a 50-50 drawing, which everyone was able to participate in. The winner donated most of his winnings back, earning a total of $165 that's automatically going toward next year's show as well. Gunner said he wants to thank the judges, Timmy Nasworth and Chris Davis, owner of Slice and Dice Barbecue, because they had their work cut out for them because of all the vehicles that were there. I'm assuming that was tough. I did it the year before. And let me tell you something.
Not easy.
No, it's not easy. Man, there is a lot of beautiful cars
Beautiful
there.
cars.
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah.
So, like you said, all the cars could have been winners, but, only certain few this year. Let's see. We had top 10 award, Greg Whitaker, Bruce and Chris Ross, Donald and Kathy Robbins, W.C. Rhodes, Roy Ackerman Sr., Lionel Smallwood, Frank Patterson, Richard Wimpy, William Gall Jr., and the best of show winner, Mr. Roy Hall.
Roy,
Yes.
some
Beautiful cars. And you can see that on Mitchell Gunner's Facebook and on the spot as well.
What do you have? What did the winner have?
He didn't say which car it was, but if I'm thinking, was that one of the Camaros?
I think it was one of the fire. I think it was Pontiac Firebird.
Was it the Firebird? Okay, it may have been.
If it was that pearl blue, I'm not sure if it was that one or not. That was my favorite color.
Yeah, I hear that.
And what's interesting, one of the vehicles that was there, for those who didn't make it out here, again, go to Mitchell's Facebook page or whatever you want to, but it was amazing because the one of the cars that was there was a pristine, beautiful blue Pontiac Firebird. I mean, it was an immaculate, beautiful car. It's a 1979. Looks like it came off the showroom floor. And the sales slip was framed and with the car. Want to take a guess at how much he bought the car for brand new?
Oh, back then. Yeah, it was close.
You're close.
$9,321. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. And
Did it have the T-tops and everything? Did it have the T-tops and all? Yeah, those are
They
beautiful
probably
cars.
had the 455 in it too. With
All that. Well, they had the scoop on it and everything. They had the bird on it and everything.
Yeah.
But
That was a fully loaded model.
that did. Yes, it was.
It was nice. One of the other exciting things about the Christmas on Call Street, one of the things they're talking about is that they want to expand the parade. And there were some concerns that were raised about the event itself, and that's to be expected. Garbage being one of them, that sort of not that. But one of them had to do with the parade route. For a lot of people were confused that the parade route was, I guess they were expected to be different. It's the same route that we do every year. Next year, we're looking at doing a little bit different. Not locked in here, but the lineup is going to be actually on the opposite side of the tracks, going down possibly Walnut Street, and then ultimately coming up 301 down Call Street and ending at the downtown square. So
that would be awesome.
Got a lot of logistics we got to work out on that thing like that. But TJ and Deidre did an amazing job, and Deanna, did an amazing job working with their staff. They had their little core of people. They've received support from, of course, Pam Whittle with the chamber, city police, county assistants, and everything like that one. It was a great team effort like that. But kudos to the Downtown Merchants Association, specifically Ricky Chrissy Thompson and TJ and Deanna for making the cut, for putting together what was probably the nicest festival. This was their second annual, and in the wrap-up meeting we had this morning, they were talking about they're already excited about next year's event. It's 12 months away, so a lot of great things happening. And I'm telling you, it's only going to get better with the new construction. Once that overpass is wrapped up, we'll be able to set up booths underneath the overpass, blocking off literally blocks and blocks of streets for pedestrian-friendly vendors and parking and festivals. It's going to be amazing. It really is.
I believe it is, too. And I'm already hearing great things about this thing already. Like you said, that's already in the planning. And we're not even at Christmas yet. It's just 2 days after the event. Here we are. You know what I mean? Already looking toward next year. And we're going to have them on the show probably January, February to talk about what's coming up with that as well. So
it was a 32 pickup that won.
32 pickup. Okay, was it the okay? All right. So that's great. All right, Michael, I'm going to ask you to slip out.
I am going to slip out for a little bit because I'm telling you, there's a face coming on the show that's a lot prettier than this one. I can promise you that.
Well,
you're not going to get any disagreement.
You're not going to get disagreement out of me either.
I agree with that one here.
Can't dig into that cake early.
Welcome in, Miss Sonia Stack. How you doing, Sonia?
Oh, very well. How are you?
Good. Before we get into a couple of good things, I just want to acknowledge some of the people that are on our show that is watching us. First and foremost, right here, yes, that is another prize and another present for the On the Spot crew, made by Miss Shirley Bagwell herself. She outdoes herself each and every time, doesn't she? What is this one, Byron? Can you tell us a little about?
I have no clue.
It's some kind of real velvet.
Red velvet right on the inside there.
But it's got some sort of something on the bottom of it. It
On the
almost
bottom,
looks like it's got vanilla in it.
Can you see there?
Oh, yeah, there is some.
Yeah.
It may be some sort
You
of...
are going to grab a piece of this, right? After you get done with your interview?
Sure.
All right, there we go. You're going to let us know how it is. But anyway, thank you, Miss Shirley Bagwell, always getting us something great here. So I do want to acknowledge Byron is on. Shirley's on. Noah's on. Jimmy Sparks. Hello, Jimmy. Marie's on. Noah's on. Raymond No says that was a great card show. Fantastic job by Mitchell. Tammy Teston. Hello, Albie. As we said there. Albie was looking for us, by the way.
Was he looking for us?
Yes, he was. Mitchell said that, man, he was looking all over for us. So I think he did see Michael.
Yeah.
He was looking for me, the rest of us.
The rest of us?
Oh, yeah. He was definitely looking.
Yeah, he saw Mitchell and myself. And,
Yeah.
But
And
he
I
was
guess that the mother asked where we were at, right? He wanted to see all of us, I think. So we all had some other things going on.
Yeah, Albie, I didn't need to be around people at that point in time.
No, probably not. So, but anyway, Mitchell Gunner says he's missing out tonight. I promise we'll save you a piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we'll save you a piece.
Oceanfront property in Arizona?
In Arizona. Miss Bagwell says, Sonia, it's a red velvet with cream cheese.
Oh, sounds delicious.
Again, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Sonia Stack with us. She works for the Bradford County School Board. She's an alum from Bradford High School. You are a tornado, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
Through and through, right?
Through.
No matter what. We're
No
a
matter
tornado.
what,
That's
that's
exactly right. She's married to a good friend of mine that I've known, and you know, Mr. Clay Stack, sons Trey and Tucker.
And Jack.
And Jay, I forgot about that. And Jack,
Yeah.
Shelly reminded me to say that, and I got to write that in my notes. But that's exactly right. You got 3 sons. Before we get into your organization and what you're doing, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell the audience that may not know who Sonia Stack is.
Well, I've lived here all my life. Went through all the Bradford County schools. I started out as a Hampton Elementary Hornet, and went to the middle school. I'm sad about the Hampton Hornets, them closing the schools down. That's where Stagwell actually taught me. But I went all the way through school, graduated, and I've been working with the school board now since 2000. And I started up a nonprofit organization. It started just in my shed, or not my shed, my garage. It's happened 7 years ago. I just was sitting outside one afternoon, and I thought, how lucky I was, and what could I do to help? And so this started out as just 5 families, because that's all I could do, just be by myself.
Sure.
And I started out helping 5 families that first year. It was in Thanksgiving 7 years ago. It has grown now to where we feed up to 40 families. We do it now for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Easter. This Christmas, we're actually doing 40 families, which will receive a full meal and Christmas presents for all the kids. There's 156 kids that we're providing Christmas presents for.
Wow.
It's phenomenal. We have a lot of backing. I have to thank Gordon Smith and Bradford County Sheriff's Office. He provides all of my meat. For Christmas this year, we're doing hams. For Thanksgiving, we did turkeys, of course, but I'd like to thank him. We have backing from the Rotary, from the Kiwanis Club, several companies around town. There's just too many to even name. I do want to mention the Florida Twin Theater, Lee Sparks.
Yeah.
He, with our Easter baskets every year, we do over 120 Easter baskets.
Wow.
And he supplied all of our candy last Easter for that.
What a great man he was.
It's going to be
Phenomenal. That's
Yeah.
why I wanted to definitely mention him.
Yeah.
He'll be sorely missed.
Yeah, very much so.
Very, very much so. He did a lot for us. I couldn't do this without my partners. Jennifer Davis, she chimed in earlier.
She did?
Jennifer Davis, she's my right-hand man, and then Tanya Barnhart, she's like the secretary kind of. But I couldn't do it without all of them. And each year it gets bigger and bigger. And like I said, I can't wait for this Christmas to see all the kids, their faces. And the meals consist of a meat. And it's a full meal. We even make sure they have a dessert. They'll have cake and icing. We even make sure they have something to drink. They have tea, sugar. Just a complete full meal for them. And how we find our families is through the school system. I let the bus drivers nominate, because the bus drivers are the ones that see the kids first thing in the morning. They see the kids first thing in the morning. They see the kids. They're the last one that the kids see. We also have nominations. If you know of a family in need, you can nominate on Facebook. Or call me. My number is 904-364-7106. Any donations that come from just the community, I can meet you if that's what needs to be. But a lot of the community, Thompson's Garage, Downtown Grill. Like I said, there's so many that we rely on because we feed so many.
And that organization is called Feeding Bradford County Families, right, for the holidays, right?
It's Bradford County Feeding Families.
Okay, I've got Feeding Families, okay. And I know you were just talking about the donations to help the families. I know you had 30 on your deal there, but you're saying upwards maybe to 40 families this year, possible?
Yeah.
So we're going to change that number to 40 right there.
Yes.
If you feel, like she said, if you feel in your heart to donate, please contact this beautiful lady right here. She'll make sure these families get a full meal. Some families will also receive Christmas gifts, that you said,
Yes.
and it's pretty much all of them now, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
even if it's not student age kids, we're
Right.
if they have brothers and sisters in the home, they all get a Christmas present. So
Right.
yes, sir.
And phone number is 904-364-7106.
Yes,
And you can deliver anything that you want to the bus barn. Is that right?
yes, you can do that, or
Okay.
at my house. Like I said, you can call me. I'm available to meet anybody that wants to donate. And we really appreciate it. The community appreciates it.
Do you have any flyers or?
No, we do
Mail
everything
out.
by word of mouth. My big mouth. my big mouth. It never stops.
Facebook
running.
help you out?
Yes, Facebook most definitely.
That number
And-
again?
That number is 904-Mike-364-7106.
And like I said again, I couldn't do any of this without Jennifer Davis and Tanya Barnhart. They are my right hand
Yeah.
man. They really help a lot.
So, besides the two ladies, the beautiful ladies you just named right there, how about Clay? Does he help you out some? And the
he
boys
helps.
and
He
the
helps.
boys?
He
Okay.
helps. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Whenever we go out to deliver, we always do teams of two
Mm-hmm.
as a delivery. So if it's not Clay in the front seat with me, it's one of the boys. So we make it a family thing.
So, the time frame when you deliver most of these meals, is there a like between is it the day of Christmas? Is it Christmas Eve
No,
or is it
because of the meat, because like a turkey needs to defrost
Sure.
for 2 days.
right?
So we always try to make sure we deliver 2 days before. This year for Christmas, we're going to be delivering December 22nd, in between 9 and 12.
December 22nd, ladies and gentlemen, between 9 and 12. Do the families, because this would really get me, and me and Byron's talked about this many times, does the families know that you're already coming, or is it a surprise?
No, I do call ahead of time
Okay.
just to make sure that they're there, but that's the best part of it. That's the most heartwarming part of it. When the mothers come out and hug your neck
Oh,
and
man.
cry. And
That's good.
I've got chills just sitting here saying
I'm almost about to tear up here myself right now, so.
they come out and they will embrace you and thank you so much, because without us and without us bringing, the food is huge. But it also, providing that the kids with Easter baskets or Christmas presents, it's something that they can't do for themselves. Even Christmas trees. If you know a family that doesn't have a Christmas tree, we will make sure they have a Christmas tree also.
Right. So anybody besides donations help deliver?
Yes,
Are you looking
most
for those
definitely.
people?
We
We may
need
love to do that.
Yes, we need help right
Sure.
now because of the Christmas presents are getting out of hand. We're starting to wrap, and the pile's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. We do need help with delivery. That's a huge thing because we can't fit it all in our cars.
Right.
So yeah, anybody that wants to help deliver, December 22nd, get with me. We will load up your car and send you on your way.
I tell you what, that may be something for on the spot to do. I would love to do that. That is just the greatest feeling in the world.
Get some
To be
video.
able to pull up to somebody's residence and be able to hand them something, because we're able to do that, like you said,
Right.
and we're fortunate of what we have,
Right.
and making somebody's day. You don't have a heart that doesn't melt your heart. That's the way I look
That's
at it.
exactly right.
What do you think, babe?
I think it's a great idea, David. And
I
I
think
think
so.
I know somebody who might have a trailer that might be big enough to put the majority.
Georgie, yes, help her out. Maybe on the spot. We would love to invite. I would love, man, just for all of us as on the spot, just to help deliver 2 or 3 or 4 families. We would love to.
Yeah,
do
that's
that.
and that's what we do. Our each delivery person gets 3 to 4 to 5 families, depending on how much we have to send. But any help that would be greatly appreciated.
So this is going to happen next Tuesday, correct?
Yes, the 22nd.
So we normally have a show, but I tell you what, I've got a director sitting right there. Wouldn't that be great to do something live like that? And just, you know what I'm saying? Sitting back and, oh my goodness,
We could do that.
yeah, I think we could do that. Mike, what do you
I
think?
think we can make that happen.
I think we can make that happen too, and make somebody's day, you know?
Okay.
So if somebody's watching and they want to help, how are they going to
They can call me.
call that number that you gave them?
They can get in touch with me, and yeah.
All right. Also, there was something else I was. So afterwards, after all this is done, and you've done your part, I'm assuming this don't stop. So what's your next step after Christmas?
Easter.
Easter. Okay.
Yeah, we start planning for Easter.
Okay. So when you were saying about the Easter baskets, do you have egg hunts and things like that?
No
Okay.
egg hunts. We just do fill the Easter baskets for them, but it's mainly start rounding up the food, the cans of corn and green beans and macaroni and cheese, and just different things like that we fill the boxes with.
Right.
We go ahead and start stacking all that up and getting everything ready.
Wow, I'd love to do a special show, guys, and we can talk about that later on as the show comes to an end. But we love to get involved in these things. If you watched our show, Sonia, which I know you have many a times, we endear and we appreciate what the Bradford County Food Pantry does.
Oh yeah.
And
well, we're definitely apart from that.
Correct. Right.
We don't want to take anything away from what they do.
Right.
But yeah, because they do an amazing job also.
Yeah. And we try to help out wherever we can, and we've done some fundraisers with them as well. We had a pastor on last week. He was doing a peanut butter and jelly thing giveaway. So I see a lot of people really come together in this community and trying to help, different people out. And that just shows that, me and Brian talk, it's not always doom and gloom.
No. No.
There's people like you that's got a great big heart, and some of the others, Miss Betty Warren, and these guys that Raymond No, that works out down there. Chrissy, she does.
She is a huge supporter of
She's
mine.
an angel.
She is a huge supporter of mine, and I thank her more than she can ever know.
And I got to say that because she's my boss on Thursday night, since I do trivia.
Well, anytime I call her, she's anything you need, Sonia. She always says that. So.
Not only does she love her community, and I'm going to talk about Chrissy for just a second because I know we talked about the Christmas, the downtown Christmas, but also helping you out. But not only does she love her community, she loves her country.
Yes.
And let me tell you how we know this. She feeds those people that come down that are reservists and things like that
For nothing.
for nothing.
Yep.
For absolutely zero.
Yeah.
And she does that because she loves her community. She loves her country. She knows she just got a big heart, like the rest of us do here. And again, I just appreciate what you're doing here. And I know you said you've been doing this now how long?
7 years.
7 years.
It started 7 years under my carport.
And
just here, little old me thinking, I think I'm going to help somebody this year.
Yeah.
And now it's turned into such an amazing thing.
Now, in your helping duties, it's not just food.
No, it's gifts too.
Gifts.
It's the Christmas gifts and it's the Easter baskets.
Do you have anybody that would fix a little lady's sink if it's leaking, or?
We hadn't gotten there yet. But if I heard that it was needed, I would definitely try.
You'd find somebody.
I would.
Okay.
yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, I like that. And see, that goes to show you, if you have a thought, if you have a dream, if you have an idea, don't let it go to the wayside. You were just sitting up underneath your porch or whatever and saying, who can I help out this year?
And now it's turned into
Look at 7 years later.
Right.
40 families?
Yeah. It's a lot.
You started 5.
Yeah.
Now it's 40.
Yeah.
So, good grief. It's 8 times itself since she thought about this idea. That is just phenomenal to me. Byron, you got a question for Sonia?
She pretty much has said it all.
Yes, she has.
I mean,
I'm a talker.
Well,
Which is good, though.
there's not much more you can add to what she said, because what she's doing is she's helping the communities in a way
Yes.
that everybody needs to be helping the community out
Yep.
when possible.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Well,
that sounds,
I think the best way is how we're doing it. Far as like I said, the bus driver is the first person that the kid sees in the afternoon, and the last person that the kid sees in the afternoon. And so the bus driver gives a sense of how these people are living, what they need. We've even given jackets out to those in need, shoes out to those in need. It's really a phenomenal thing.
I just think Jennifer say that y'all do snacks for the kids as well.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
and how far out do you reach?
For just Bradford County. Yeah. And anywhere that the school buses in our area can see. I do some out in the Melrose area, but how that road works, it's Bradford, Putnam Clay, Bradford, Putnam Clay, that road out there. So, it's
Well, maybe-
goes from one to
we go all the way out there.
Maybe somebody in Putnam and Clay will pick up your idea, and it'll just spread all over the state.
It could blossom, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a
would be
great
awesome.
idea.
Mike, you got a question for Miss Sonia?
Not really, although I'm seeing some comments that are coming in, so we'll probably get to some of those. I think what I'm interested in, and the question was already asked, is what's your vision for expanding in the future? And I think you've already touched on that.
Well, as much as I can do, as much as support as I can get from the community, I'm willing to keep going. There is no stopping. Like I said, as long as I can keep having Gordon supply my turkeys, and we'll have to get on him.
Yeah, and in Gordon's line of work, he comes across a lot of turkeys on a regular basis.
Yes, a lot. Yes, he does.
I'd like to quote a famous statement.
Okay.
If you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly right.
Yes.
And and I love what you said about how you find your families. You leave it up to the bus drivers.
Yeah.
Isn't
they
that
nominate.
because their eyes on?
Yeah.
They see this each and every day. I love that. You just didn't, and not that anybody else wouldn't do a bad job. It's just they know. They got
They
that
know.
first hand. They see where they live. They
Right.
see what's going on. And that is just that you can't. It's spot on, I guess. You know what I mean? It's spot on because, like you said, sometimes teachers are busy and they don't always, you know what I mean,
Right.
spot
Right.
the need.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's somebody they know Jimmy Joe or whoever needs help or whatever, but they're also worried about 25 of those
Right.
others
Right.
as well.
Right. Where
So-
the bus drivers can actually see where these children are coming from, and see the ones who really need help. And
I really love that idea there.
It's a great idea.
It is a great idea. Well, we would love to help. I'm sure we'll be getting in contact with you. Like I said, we were supposed to do a show next Tuesday, and we can still do one to some sort of form, but we would love to help deliver some stuff. And
Okay.
we'd probably, a couple of us will ride together and go to different, or maybe all of us may want to do it as a group and do three. We've got vehicles that should be able to accommodate some of those things. Byron, clean out the van.
Okay.
No, we don't go in the van.
No, we're going in that truck.
We'll go with Monday.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we're going in that.
Okay, well, I will put y'all down for delivery then.
That would work. That will definitely work. And what time you start doing?
I need you at the bus barn at 8:30,
Okay.
so we can have you loaded and you out.
Is
the
that
door at 9.
is that in the morning?
Yes.
In the morning. Okay. That we'll have to check that on our schedules.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because of that. We thought you may do this toward the evening a little bit.
Yeah, we do it in the mornings.
Okay.
Just because sometimes it takes us all day.
Where at?
Right.
So
Where do you meet at?
at the bus barn.
At the bus barn.
Where's
Right
that?
over there by the middle school.
I'm gonna have to work on it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we'll work on that. I
Well,
will work on
if
that.
you
Yeah,
can't,
no, I will work on that.
I'll hold you to Easter. How about that?
Okay, that can work.
If y'all can't make it next Tuesday,
All right,
I'll
we'll
hold y'all to
definitely.
Easter.
Okay, that sounds good. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again in my special guest, Miss Sonia Stack, feeding Bradford County families for the holidays. It's a great organization that you have here. I have heard about this before. I knew that you was involved. I didn't know that you was the director and that this was your idea that came to you. But I'm glad that we were able to talk to you and for you to be able to come on the show and tell everybody what this is all about. And I really think it's a great thing and a
Yes,
great opportunity for Bradford County. There's just another outlet, that families can go to. And like I said, they don't even need to go. They already know, and they're coming to them. And I definitely like that. So I want to thank you
Well,
for
I
coming on.
appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely. Before she goes,
Let's get to some of these comments.
yeah, let's get to some of this comments right here. Let's do that before you go. And by the way, Clay, if you're on, how about them Bulldogs? I
Go
got
Gators.
always, see,
Go
that,
Gators.
that's what I figured. Is that a house divided or what?
Oh yes.
Oh my goodness, I'd love to see that.
Florida Georgia Day is bigger than Christmas at our house.
There you go. Miss Shirley Bagwell says hello to you.
Tell her I said hi.
Yep. Kimberly Moore is on. Mary Salvatore is on. Kimberly Moore, that's awesome. Marie's on. She says hi, Miss Sonia. Kimberly Moore says again, that's just so awesome. She said that to it 3 times. April Tomlinson's watching, Coach
Yes.
Tomlinson's wife. Patricia Bath, you know Patricia.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, Patricia's on. Tammy Testone is on. She says, God bless you, by the way.
Thank you.
Harry Patel, owner
yes.
of Fun Point.
Fun Point.
Yeah, there you
Hi,
go.
Harry.
Mitchell Gunner says, great job, Sonia. He loves what you're doing. And Kimberly Moore says, praise God for such a caring woman.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mitchell Gunner, great job to all the ladies. Jennifer says, David says, we would love to have you, David, to help if we can. I'm going to try to make that work. I've got a few days. I'm going to try to make that work out so we can help. I really want to help. So I'm going to get started on talking to my boss and seeing that maybe if I can take a little vacation early. Bonnie Stevens says, need volunteer. And I guess to help deliver or whatever,
Yeah.
so she can call that number for
Tell her to give me a call. Yeah.
Yeah, Bonnie, you can call Sonia at 904-364-7106, and that's to anybody else that's watching. So you can help with whatever it is that she needs. Do you know Jimmy Langley?
No, I don't think so.
The number is actually, to call her, is actually on our screen.
Yes, it is.
Bottom
That's
left-hand side.
Perfect.
Jimmy Langley is tuning in from the Bahamas. He says hello to everybody. How about
Hello
that?
there.
Hey, I bet the Bahamas is nice.
I bet.
Yeah, I bet it is too. Let's see. Stark Police Department surprised me with a Thanksgiving dinner. It was the best blessing. I'm proud to live in Stark, Florida. God bless Bradford County, she says. That was from Tammy Testone. Thank you for the number. Donna Hildreth is watching. And that's where I got from Jennifer, says she does snacks. Randy Scoggins. Elizabeth and John Ron Tillman from the Telegraph.
Yes.
They're watching.
They go to my church.
They do, okay. So you know them very well. Raymond No says, can you tell us what it would cost to sponsor the average family?
Oh.
Not to put you on the spot or anything.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm not even sure right now. Just only because we do so, it's different every time, and I honestly haven't broken it down. The donations come in, and but that's something I can get a number on.
So-
Jennifer gave him the number.
Yeah.
She said $20 to $25 per box.
Okay.
That's what she said.
So that's pretty good. Okay. Mitchell says, which is a true statement. We have a lot of kids only eat when they are at school. The only 2 meals that
Right,
they
or provided.
in that is just absolutely absurd. I want to get your opinion on this before I let you go. Me and Byron, and we talk about this all the time. One of my pet peeves is, first of all, 2 things. Farmers, I don't think get enough credit for what they do.
Oh,
And
absolutely not.
I think that the government tries to, excuse my French, screw them out of things,
Right.
tell them what to do. They crop a lot of this food, and just because they can't sell it or our government is regulating what they do, a lot of this stuff gets thrown away. And I know this for a fact too, and I think you probably read up on this as well. There should be nobody in the world, and I'm talking about the world, not just the United States, but in the world today, that should be starving at all.
At all.
Yeah, we have enough food in silos and bins and things like that. Okay, it may not be the steak and all that, but there is
It's
food to feed every man, woman, and child for the next 30 years.
Yeah.
What are we doing? What are we, and
They're
that's
throwing it out.
Yeah, and like I said, what are we storing it for? Yeah, I understand nuclear stuff that could happen and possibly happen, but what are we storing this food for?
Right.
You know, well, is that day ever going to come? I may not see it in my lifetime.
Even if they are storing it, David, we could feed the world what we harvest from this country in 3 months.
Yes,
Every single year.
Yeah.
So you're talking
Exactly.
about doing that 4 times over every year.
right.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that, I just don't get it. I wanted to get your opinion on that. Do you feel the same way?
I do.
And it's just an travesty of justice. I don't get this thing here. So let's see. With me, okay, she said that absolutely. Mitchell says that. Clay says, Dave, he's up on my dogs now. I love your dogs now. Come on now. You know I gotta love your dogs because Kevin is my partner doing the football games, and he's a big Georgia fan.
Really?
Oh my God, Georgia, probably like Clay is.
Oh, yes.
So
gotta love them more than that team that's right up the road.
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Come on now.
Jennifer Dodge Weller says
We
the
had a
United
tough
States-
one last weekend
Yeah.
with LSU.
The United States has the capability to feed the world. It's people and governments that get away with just talking
Exactly
about
right.
it. So, and Raymond knows that no person should be hungry in our county. First of all, nobody about the world. Period.
Yeah.
So that's the way I feel about it. But I want to thank you for being our guest,
Thank you.
and we'll let you know if we can make
Yeah.
it. Maybe a couple of us can make it. Hopefully, all of us can make it. But we would love to help.
Perfect.
Good.
Well, thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Thank you.
And
Sonia,
again,
take
I want
care
to
of
thank
yourself.
Jennifer Davis.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I want to thank Jennifer Davis and Tanya Barnhart again.
Yes.
I cannot do it without them.
Jennifer,
Awesome.
Tanya, we love you. Keep up the great work. God bless
Thank
you
you,
guys.
guys.
Thank you.
If we don't get a chance to see you, I hope we do see you, but have a Merry Christmas.
All right.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Anytime, Sonia.
Yeah. All right. Well, wow. That was a great interview with Sonia Stack and feeding Bradford County and the families. I tell you, Byron, it's a good thing. We got a lot of people in this community doing a lot of great things. We're bringing in our director, Michael Heater, sitting in for Mr. Mitchell Gunner. Mike, what'd you think, man? I tell you, she's got a little something going here, doesn't she?
She does. And what I like about this is that this is a small cog in the wheel of programs around Bradford County. And you can see that whether it's the food pantry where Bob and
Right.
Bob Milner and
Right.
Betty Warren and
Warren.
those folks are all doing other things, as well as the Downtown Merchants Association. The program that the Downtown Grill did for providing meals during the worst part of the COVID,
Right.
and this sort of that. I mean, everyone does their own little thing in their own way for the greater good. And this is just another example of it. I think that's what makes our community as great as it is.
Yeah, and a lot of people may not see it like we do. You know what I'm saying? Just because maybe they can't get involved or they're not involved so much. But we see it because we're always out there. We're always doing something, and we put our eyes on it. But like you said, she's just doing a small part, as you were talking about that wheel that keeps spinning. And she's got a great thing going here. Started off with 5 families. Now she's up to 40. And now she's providing Christmas gifts on top of the food line that she's providing.
Absolutely great.
Yes, it
It
sure is.
really is. She forgot her cake.
Yes, she
Cake
did.
too.
I was hoping that we
Sonia,
could catch her.
if you're watching,
Yeah.
We'll
you
cut
need
you
to
off
come,
a slice.
You need to come
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, you do. Mark Cooney said she didn't take any cake.
Hey.
Mark was watching that, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yes,
By the
it
way,
was.
Mark was watching that. So
Maybe I got her some.
you didn't. You better give her a little. Albie says good night. School comes early. Good night, Albie.
Yes.
Say good night.
There is a Kenny Chestnut song
Chesney.
Chesney song
I know that one.
that I'm thinking of right now, and that's how I feel right now. My
Right.
only friends are pirates. You know
Yeah,
that,
Byron.
right?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, and speaking of you, let's turn it over to some national correspondence and some national things that are going on. Right now, Byron, the big thing is, of course, the election, the results of the election, Electoral College. What's going to happen with this? I know we talked a little bit about it, so I didn't know how you wanted to segue into your segment with that, but I know we want to talk about a couple of things. And I know that was one of them on that.
One of the things that I wanted to talk a little bit about is that the Electoral College votes were certified yesterday,
Right.
by the states.
Mm-hmm.
What happens after the Electoral College votes are certified by the states? It goes to the House in joint session,
Right.
and then they certify the states' votes. Now, until the House certifies the states' votes, guess what?
Yep.
There is no president-elect.
No, there is not. There's
And by the way, the news media has made that term up anyway because there's no such thing as a president-elect. And there most certainly isn't any such thing as
The office.
office of the
yeah,
president-elect. That is the most just retarded thing that I have seen in a long time. Excuse me, the word retarded means slow. Sorry.
Ludicrous.
Yeah.
Ludicrous. There's another
Yeah.
good word for it. There is no such thing as the office of it. Look, I don't know what's going on right now with our justice system. I cannot figure out, other than the fact that they're scared half to death, which I've also heard today, that the conversation behind closed doors was overheard at the Supreme Court, and a certain justice is scared half to death about people writing if they do anything about this election. That is nonsense. You are the Chief Justice, and yes, I just gave him away, and I don't care. You are the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States. It's your job to interpret the laws the way they are written and enforce them.
And to
Have somebody enforce them and uphold them.
uphold the Constitution of the United States. Which brings me to a question I have for you,
I would
Byron.
have. They'd have gotten rid of me because I'd have hit him square in between the eyes if he started that.
So I'm
I
curious.
would have. I mean, you're the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States, and you're going to tell me you're not going to hear a case because you're afraid of rioters? No.
What's
Sorry,
right,
go ahead,
Mike.
Mike.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. So one of the things that someone had asked me about, and I was doing some read up on it, like this one, and I understand. Correct me if I'm wrong, as I put on my papa eyes, as my granddaughter likes to say, that based on the election results, that Joe Biden took in 306 of the electoral votes and President Trump took 232.
Yes. Correct.
However, there has been a report, how accurate this is what I'm going to ask you about, that Trump had 274 college votes and Biden 266, saying this is historic, and that Pennsylvania, Georgia, Michigan, Wisconsin, Arizona, Nevada, and New Mexico all had GOP electors cast their votes for the President of the United States. That preserves the President's right to remedy fraud with his own electors. Based on this and what I'm hearing, is there any validity to this? And furthermore, I'm not one for beating a dead horse, but do we have a path to resolution? In other words, one way or the other, or do you see this being drug out, possibly going all the way to the Supreme Court?
There are three or four pathways to
Right.
to end this,
Right.
and one of those pathways. I don't know about your own electors. That doesn't make any sense.
Right, and that's the
Because
reason why I
this-
wanted to ask.
yeah,
It didn't
because
make
this-
sense when I read it, and I thought, let me ask what's going on.
Well, now, if the state's electors cast those votes like that,
Correct.
and the media is not being told that they cast those votes like that, and they're doing their best guess job like Russian collusion, or their hit job, should I say, then that's possible that scenario could actually happen, what you're talking about.
Okay.
Well, I think more likely, if you're going to fix this scenario, what you do is when it goes into the House and the Senate, and those electoral votes go through the House, and they're going to, of course, approve them because it's Nancy Pelosi's Democrat-controlled
That is.
House.
That's correct.
Right.
and then it goes into the Senate, and the Republican senators go, well, wait a minute. I don't care what the Supreme Court's saying, and I don't really care what these electors are saying about this. I've seen proof of fraud and I have an issue with this.
Right.
These electoral college votes from these states.
Right.
If enough of the senators say that, then what's going to happen is you're going to have a stalemate in between the Senate approving the electoral college votes and the House approving the electoral college votes. Then what happens is the 12th Amendment comes in.
Right.
And you're going to have each state have one vote to decide who the president is. I do not want to see that.
Well,
No.
and that's an interesting concept because when you look at a map of each state getting its vote, a single vote, I find that intriguing because you're looking at 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, and I'm just being rough.
Just round to 22,
Let's say
23.
23 out of 50 states.
Right.
23 out of 50 states are blue.
Are blue.
Right.
And
27
27
are red.
being red.
Yes.
So, is this something that could potentially end up
Yes.
in the Supreme Court?
No.
No, you think it's going to be a
Once
Senate decision?
once the 12th Amendment, they use the 12th Amendment, and that actually happens. The court has nothing to say about that because it is the 12th Amendment. And the only way you change amendments,
Yeah.
once again, is a 3/4 vote in the House and Senate and in the presidency, or it goes to the states and the convention, and
Right.
the majority of states
So,
change.
so with that being said, just your 10-second knee jerk. Where do we go from here? What do you think?
It's a good question.
Where
because
do,
we're gonna talk about that.
where do I think we go from here?
Yes.
I think they elect Joe Biden is what I think happens because I don't think the Republican senators have the spine to do that.
To do.
I don't think I think there's going to be some of them that speak their voice and say that, but I don't think the majority of the Republican senators have the spine.
You think that? Do you think they want to just try to move past this and then focus on
What they-
2024?
What they want to do is they want to go back to the way things were before Donald Trump was elected. We're going to cooperate with a group of people who want to destroy this country. That's my honest opinion about what's going to happen, and it's probably what is going to happen. Now, the more interesting thing that has happened this week when they decided to throw out Texas's court case that 22 other states had signed on to was the comment from the head of the GOP in Texas, which said, maybe if the Supreme Court and the government of the United States is not going to follow the Constitution, maybe we'll get a coalition of states together that will.
So that leads me to another question that came up because I understand, and again, I read this sort of thing and I take everything I read with a grain of salt or a pound. There was some discussion that came up that said that the reason why the Supreme Court refused to even review the case was because of the way that it was presented and the written proposal, and that there was a possibility that if it was represented in a different format or a different wording, phraseology, however you want to put it, that it would then fall within the parameters of a decision to be made by the Supreme Court that would get us in that direction. Have you heard that, and what's your take on that?
I've heard that, but I've also heard that the Supreme Court, that the actual chief of Supreme Court justices was backing down from mobs. So it leaves me very little hope that would actually happen.
Well, there are
Well,
some
it needs to go.
50-something cases
There's a
that,
bunch of cases that are still in progress.
that the Supreme Court has seen and determined that lack of evidence has kept them from going any further. Do I understand that to be right?
Yes, and I laugh about that. The problem is that Chief Justice Roberts is a chicken. Yeah, thank you. He's afraid of the mob. He's afraid of what the Democrats are going to think.
Yeah,
about
this
it.
bomb threats and mob and attacks is
He is the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States. Do you know how fast the FBI, the CIA, and the Secret Service would be on top of anybody that did that?
I would like to think pretty dadgum fast.
Wouldn't happen. Wouldn't be walking around very long.
You know, it's
If a mob
something.
showed up outside of his house, I'm pretty sure the National Guard or probably the regular Army.
A threat is
and-
one thing. Following through is another.
Is another.
Correct.
See, this whole entire thing stinks to me because that's his job. That's what he does. And you want to talk about evidence. This is something else I wanted to talk about tonight. Thank you for leading me into that.
Yes, sir.
They're saying that there is no evidence in this at all. And my comment to that is there has been hundreds of people who have given sworn testimony to what they've seen. And that is evidence. It's not proof. And there is a difference.
Right.
Courts hear evidence. There is a ton of it out there, and it should be listened to. Now, whether it comes out as true or not is another story. Because the reports that I'm hearing from actual lawmakers that went back in and started doing investigations from these computer systems that they're using from a company called Dominion, which everybody has probably heard of by now, they're finding out that it has a 68% error rate. And that come from a senator. A 68% error rate.
It's crazy.
68% is more than enough to swing an election from the time you shut down that election to the time you open it back up and all of a sudden these votes are there. There is so much evidence of this being shady and misdone. The problem to me, just from a logical standpoint, not from the party that I support, not from the presidential candidate I supported, is simply this. If you don't make people that believe there is something that has gone on with this believe otherwise, if you don't prove to them that there was nothing shady going on, there is going to be a large majority of them that will never trust our election system again.
And that was
I agree with that.
And that was my point to you, Byron. That was what I was just getting ready to say. All right, let's just take a scenario a minute, Byron. I'll put it to you.
Keep on talking.
Let's get this scenario right here. Let's forget 2020. Let's just say right now, Joe Biden's president. Okay? Well, let's just say it for just argument's sake. We got an election. You know where I'm going with this? We got an election coming up 2024. Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, if what Byron says is got any validity to it, why would you, Dave Holland, Donald Stevens, Austin Stevens, Byron Bagwell, or David Rodgers would want to vote in the 2024 election when you haven't changed anything? If nothing goes and gets fixed with this system, as Byron says, what is your vote counting?
I got to be honest.
Absolutely nothing.
I got to be honest with you, David. I felt that this year.
Well, of course you did,
Yeah,
because
sure.
you saw what happened.
Yeah.
What happened with it? With all, I mean, how can you not look at this? Okay,
That feeling started back when Gore and Bush ran.
of course it did.
Yeah, sure.
With that shenanigans that went on in West Palm County.
The first time Austin ever got to vote in his life.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
And we're in this.
And you're in this.
Well, it's a great example to anybody that's a teenager that's getting to vote for the first time. It really is. I got a great example the first time I got to vote too. I got Bill Clinton. So, but that's a completely another entirely different story. And I did vote for him too, by the way. So all of you Democrats out there know that Byron was once a Democrat, and you can come.
That's why I said you're politically correct.
Yeah, no, I'm not. That was a false statement.
So yeah, that
There
just
is no
no. That's what you were saying,
That's a
David.
good
Yeah,
point.
our vote. You know, look.
Let me ask this question.
All right, go ahead.
After you finish your statement.
No,
I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead and ask it because it may lead into what I was getting ready to say.
Now, I am telling you, I have supported this country. I love this country's founding.
Yep.
It gives us the freest country in the world when it was actually left alone. They have been messing with it for over 100 years, so it's not exactly still what it used to be, but it's still the freest place in the world.
Absolutely.
Okay? So when I stop believing that the election system works,
Correct.
If we don't fight for our election system now, there's no reason to ever vote again.
I'll vote again, and that's what I was saying about the next coming election.
Yeah.
So why would you? Because it's what's it going to do? It's going to count for nothing.
So here's my question. And there are a lot more people more hot-headed than I am about these things. I like to think things through. I am emotional with some of it, but I like to think things through. But you tell me why I should live under the tyranny of a group that I think is going to steal elections from now until the end of time. Why am I going to live under that?
Right.
Because I'm not going anywhere. So that leaves me with what recourse?
Living under tyranny, right?
No, it actually doesn't leave me living under tyranny. There's two recourses.
Oh, I know there is. I know there is, and I know the recourse that you're going to say.
The first one is to arm myself.
That's correct.
Which is not going to be the first one that I choose. The first one that I choose is I'm going to my senators, my governor, and I'm going to my state and officials, and I'm going to tell them that this state no longer needs to be part of this union. Because the promises that this union made to this state when we entered the union, they are not abiding by. We do not need to do that. That is going to be the first recourse.
Right.
I never in a million years would ever thought I would ever say that.
Yeah.
Because my allegiance is to this republic. But the thing is if this is a rigged election, it's no longer a republic. It is a shadow of what it should be. Second thing I'm going to tell you is I'm not going to have to do that because what's going to happen is Texas is leaving, then Oklahoma is leaving, and then the whole entire corridor that has all the oil is leaving.
Yeah.
And guess what?
Along with
Alaska's
the
leaving
Kentucky.
too.
Yep. Oh,
Kentucky.
Yep.
And everybody's going to say, they're going to do Confederacy. I'm so sick of hearing that. I will never participate in a confederacy. It is the worst form of government ever made.
Yes.
There is no control over the groups that start confederacy because it's a loose bond between different countries. It never functions the way it should. Texas leaves and starts another republic and uses our Constitution. If they don't do anything about this election, I'm probably not going to have too much of an issue with Florida goes. And I hate to say that because I love this country. They've got to take our founding documents with them. Because if they don't, base it off of that, I don't want to be part of it.
Right. Hey, I got a question for you from a viewer.
Sure.
Edward Patterford says, Byron, what about President Executive Order 2018?
You're talking about the executive order he signed that deals with election interference from foreign governments. And you're talking, okay, look, I had a little bit of a conversation with a friend that I know very well, and what they are suggesting on Facebook is very, very, very dangerous. It includes using martial law and rounding up people that are doing this. They have to have evidence first off.
Sure do.
They have to have clear, very, very clear evidence when you start rounding up federal officials. That's the first thing that's going to happen. The second thing that has to happen is every single person from that group has to be rounded up. Because if they're not rounded up, what's going to happen is there's going to be a war in this country like nobody has ever seen.
Yep.
They were using muskets and pistols during the Civil War, and 600,000 people died.
Yep.
We have modern rifles now.
Mm-hmm.
And we're dealing with modern army, too. So you're talking about a death toll like you would not believe.
And 20 million sold this year alone.
So, this is a dangerous thing too. Look, I'm wearing a Trump hat. I love what Donald Trump has done for this country. I did not support Donald Trump in the primaries.
I didn't know either.
I still would support the person that I supported over Donald Trump if I had it to do over again, because I understand how he thinks and I know he's a good man. Okay, so here's the problem with this: every single man in this world can be corrupted by power.
Yep.
There's only one person ever to walk this earth that could not be corrupted by power.
Jesus Christ himself.
One. So what happens if Donald Trump all of a sudden does this and he stays longer than 4 more years?
Well, then that means he becomes like a king. And the last time I checked, I'm a constitutionalist. And Michael Heater, I'm not serving a king.
That's right.
I don't care if it's Donald Trump or
Okay,
whoever,
here's another scenario.
right?
And just remember, when things like this go on and you start seeing power struggles within a government that become like what you're talking about, what happens when one of the people around Donald Trump decide that they want Donald Trump's position
Right.
and they get rid of him? And Donald Trump is no longer in control. That line of thinking is very, very, very dangerous.
Mhm.
It is very dangerous. Because when you start that, you leave a power void. And almost every single time, the most powerful person in this country is going to end up filling that power void.
Is that called a coup?
This wouldn't be called a coup. What she's talking about is she is talking about them using the precedents that the executive order set up and
28.
using proof that there are officials in the Democrat Party who were actually paid by China to do what they did, or influenced by China, or the local people were influenced by China and the uppers knew about it before it started, or just quite frankly, that Joe Biden is being paid by China through his son.
That's more,
So,
yeah.
I know where she's going with this, but when you start doing that, you're going to throw this country into chaos, and I do mean utter chaos.
For there's an action, there is a reaction.
Well,
Yeah.
the only way
Yeah.
the only way it works is if the military has the proof
Proof,
and they believe
correct.
it and they back Donald Trump. That's
Right.
the only way
Right.
that works. Because if that splits, and there is a war in this country, it is going to be living hell. There is no other way to describe that other than living hell with the weapons that we have now.
And will their proof come from FISA courts with unknown judges, unknown?
Right.
Or how about servers that a Delta team collected from the CIA? I mean,
That by the way,
You're in a rush.
Americans died for, correct?
We're in a
I have heard that
paradox.
report multiple places from a couple of sources now
Yeah.
that I halfway trust, that a Delta team raided a CIA warehouse in Germany, and there was a firefight between Americans, and Americans died killing Americans. So
They start.
I honestly don't know. I don't like to report stuff like that.
No,
I have
because
to-
that's right.
But I'm never going to have that definitive proof. Other than the fact that you have a retired general saying that it's true, this probably still gets classified briefings. So, I mean, McInerney. General McInerney is the one that made that report. And I've actually seen the video of him actually making that report. But this whole entire thing is a god-awful mess. And the one body that could have fixed this has backed away from it. It's unbelievable that the Chief Justice of the United States does not have the spine to look to see if the Democrat Party cheated in an election. He either doesn't have the spine or he's been paid off, or his family's being threatened. And I don't know which one it is. And quite frankly, I don't care. Because that is the Supreme Court's job to look at stuff like this.
Yeah.
You don't need proof. What you need is evidence. And they have that evidence. Just in the hundreds of people alone that have come in and said that they've seen fraud. How about the fact that, we looked at the Minion machines and they know that they changed, what was it, 1,800 or 1,600 votes in one county that switched it from Biden, from Trump to Biden, and the elections officials caught it. They reversed what was going on and redid the count, and Trump won that county. That's just one county. And there's that machine's being used in, 22 states.
You're right. Thousands.
And in thousands of counties all over the place in those states. So, look, the evidence is overwhelming. The proof may not be there, but that's why a court looks at that. And you can say that they've rejected it. What I'm hearing from the highest court in the land, that the chief justice of that court is afraid of a mob? Are you kidding me? No. I'm sorry. That bothers me.
It bothers me too, and it bothers me with what Byron said that could happen if certain steps gets taken. What did he say? What did he tell y'all 2 or 3 times? This could get very, very ugly and nasty. It may come down to that.
Well, David, they're pushing people into a corner
Correct. Right.
That actually believe in law.
Right.
They believe in our Constitution. They believe in our founding. They're pushing people into corners.
Yeah.
And when you push somebody into a corner that is not rational,
right,
that believes this way,
yeah. Guess what? It's gonna come out biting, ain't it? What happens when you? What
happens when one of these retired military members who have problems with PTSD that believe in the oath that's on the back of my shirt, by the way,
right,
sits in a ghillie suit somewhere and puts a 50 cal round through the president or the vice president's head,
right?
What happens when that happens? Because I'm telling you guys, you're messing with the wrong thing, because people that believe the way we believe in this country and would give our lives for it. And it's not just this country, it's our founding.
Right.
It's what this country stands for, because America really is more of an idea than it truly is a nation.
Good point. Great topics. Great show tonight, guys. I just want a couple of seconds. I want to ask you guys' opinion about something. Hey, we haven't talked sports in a while. I just want to get a real quick thing. By the way, congratulations. Army beats Navy 15-0.
Brother.
Yes, good grief. I know, man. I was crying. But let me tell you something.
To hear you talking about sports again. I've been waiting for this for a while. I love to hear you talk about sports.
Hey, so, Army, Navy, me and Dave's Navy. I know you're Army guy. I know Don back there is an Army guy.
They couldn't get nothing going.
Where do you sit, by the way? You lean more Army, Navy? What do you lean?
My dad's a Marine.
So you lean Navy. So you hated to see this lost too, then?
I did. My dad served in the Marine Corps, retired out honorably. 6 months and said, "You civilians are idiots," and then joined the Air Force and served for another bunch of years. So
okay,
Dad was a military guy across the board. He hated being civilian.
Let me tell you something. Army,
I'm gonna sit back and just watch.
Yeah, hey, let me tell you something. That game, West Point, is one of the most beautiful campuses I've ever seen in my whole life.
Well, it's West Point.
Oh my God, sitting right there on the Hudson. Please tell me, guys, y'all watched a little bit of College Game Day this weekend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see where Herb Street, where that damn Apache came down first of all, and then sprayed them with water right there while they was doing their show #1? That gave me chill bumps. I was about to call.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
You did call me.
Yes, I did. I did call me.
I don't like Herb Street, so for me, I know that.
The other thing that gave me chills is when the president walked in.
Yes.
The reaction that he got.
He got
it.
But even during, how about Herb Street flying in the Apache to get to his wheels up thing so he could get to his whatever game he was it Miami, North Carolina he was calling or whatever. He was doing his college pick'ems from inside this helicopter. While he was flying. Let me tell you, man, you don't think this country is great, my God, what Byron said. That right there gave me chills.
Yeah.
Which brings me to another idea. Again, congratulations, Army. It was a great game, great defensive game. Neither team really what was it, 160 yards for Army and 135 or something for Navy.
Yeah.
It was a great defensive, well-played game.
Yeah, it was.
And I want us, and I think we have an in.
We need to.
I want to go next year.
We do.
And I want to broadcast, if we can get permission, and I think we can, but I think we may have a person that can get us that, to do an Army-Navy game.
Oh, man, I would
I
love
would want to be there. Please, we've got to do this. This is on my bucket list, Mike.
We can do that.
This is on my bucket list. Yes.
A little bit of sports comedy for you.
Okay.
I know I'm stepping into your realm.
No, go ahead.
I know what Florida Gators would be doing right now if they were Republicans to Democrats. They'd be throwing shoes at them.
Look at them.
I make a comment, but he's probably right.
Man.
The only thing,
Which brings me to my next segment
no,
of this.
hold on. Let me say this because I know you'll appreciate it. Let me say
Okay.
something.
Okay.
The only thing that's dropped farther than that shoe was Gators ranking in the.
Oh!
See, I was nicer than that.
I know.
Hey, that poll is out. Can you pull that up real quick, Mike? Because I do want to talk about
Gators
that.
are 10.
Okay. Is the first
Man,
one
we went
still
from
the same?
6
I
to
don't
10 on that
care.
game.
Yeah, let me check on this one.
They got
All right.
beat by an unranked team that lost
Yeah.
a bunch of
Games and
Turned out to
Alabama
be a
won
rival.
their own. So, which brings me to this next point. As Florida fans, y'all are. As Florida
We are.
fans. What do you mean we all? Wait a minute now.
Oh, yeah.
This
I thought you were
yeah,
talking,
this half of the
I
table
thought you
likes
were talking
another
the
team.
state of
Hey,
Florida.
you got that little mask again?
You're talking about the Florida
Yeah.
College.
Florida College, Florida Gators. And
And
the
if I
Noles.
had to cover my face, I'd probably do something like
Yeah,
that.
but at least the Noles won this week. We played okay, maybe nobody, but we did win. But anyway,
Oh, boy, you guys win.
yeah, we won
did
pretty
good.
But anyway, all Florida had to do was win this game, and like Michael said, you're talking about national championship possibility, or at least playoff possibility. And now I'm gonna say this: Bama's gonna walk their dog this week.
I just got this on. We probably are not getting any more cakes.
So,
I just got this on.
so let me go ahead and throw this out real quick, just so you know.
All right, give me the top 5, or give me the top 10.
Here's what bothers me with this whole deal.
Yeah, and you're fixing to say what I'm fixing to talk about. Go ahead.
So,
Bama 1,
yep,
Notre Dame 2,
that's correct.
probably either Clemson or Ohio State 3. I'm gonna say probably Clemson 3, Ohio State 4, or is it Ohio State 3, Clemson 4?
It's Clemson 3, but I don't know how you can justify a team that plays 5 games.
And I was just getting ready to talk about that.
I just
Here's what's about to happen.
By the way, for those of us that count the important teams, if you skip Ohio State at number 6, Gators are 7th, Georgia is 8th.
You skip right over number 5.
Texas
Texas
A&M.
A&M, again,
Yeah,
for those that
don't
care
forget
about
that.
important games.
Well, you should. They beat y'all.
Shut up.
All right.
Texas is number 5, Ohio State 6, Florida 7, Georgia 8, Cincinnati is 9th, which I was impressed.
Yeah.
They've been playing very well. I will say that Cincinnati's done very well, and Oklahoma's 10th.
Okay. So,
And the
I have a problem. You may not. And I don't want to get in because we want to wrap the show up and we get into this a little bit later. I have a problem with Ohio State sitting.
Oh, I do too. I have a huge.
I have a huge problem.
But you have to understand.
Not that I don't think they're a good team, because I think that they are. My problem is they set their rules previous to when everybody else set their rules. And they said, first and foremost, they wasn't going to play any game
At all.
At all.
Yeah.
They wasn't probably going to play until the spring. Okay?
So
That should just automatically.
Hey, kick
All right.
it.
Now we change our mind and we're going to play. You have to have a minimum of 6 games plus the championship game to be even considered to play in a Big Ten championship.
Yeah.
Because Ohio State is Ohio State and they're good and they're a name brand. Guess what we've done? We've changed the narrative. We've now lowered it to 5 games. They're going to beat. They're going to beat the crap out of Northwestern. I'm sorry. I hope Northwestern can keep up with this game, but they're there to prove a point. They're not. They're going to have 6 wins. The eye test for the committee, they are going. If Ohio State wins that game, they're going to leave them right there, and I have a problem because Texas A&M's played how many games? 10 or 11 games. They only lost 1 game, and that's to the number 1 team in the country.
That's right.
And you're going to leave them out of the college football playoffs because you're going to put
with 10 wins and Ohio
They
State.
played
5
10 games.
wins.
They played 10 games. They're 9-1.
They're not
They're
one.
not.
9.
One.
Oh my
They're
God.
9-1. The only team they lost to is
That's
Alabama.
the Alabama.
That's Texas A&M.
And
I'd
we're
say
fixing to
they'd be-
see
they'd
if
be
Florida
engaged.
can stay. Yeah, if Florida can stay in this game, I'll be surprised. I just don't see it defensively. I think Alabama is just they're the 17-point favorite. I think they cover the spread.
Yeah.
All right, so let's put Alabama there. Here's the next intriguing game to me, and that's Notre Dame Clemson. They're fixing to play Saturday night as well.
That will be a good game.
That
Notre Dame
is-
gets whacked by 40 plus.
Yeah, I got to go Clemson.
Byron, I'm
8
going Clemson.
The 8 starters that were missing the first time. That's what I'm
No, say it. I'm
The
tapping
8
on the
okay. The 8
because I want you to say
The
it.
8 starters that Clemson was missing are now going to be playing. Notre Dame gets slacked. They're going to get beat by 40 plus, and then Clemson is going to be where Clemson should be, either 1 or 2. I'm sorry, and I really hope that what happens from that point forward is you lose Notre Dame and they put in Texas
A&M.
A&M because they deserve to be in there. Plus, I really want to see Jimbo win another national title.
So, now, let me present something to you. Close game. Let's just say for purpose, Clemson in a close game. Okay? They beat Notre Dame in a close game. Notre Dame's only got 1 loss. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I got a $10 bill. They will not drop Notre Dame out of the top 4. If it's close. If it's close,
what will
if
happen?
that shellacking that you said happened and it's 40, they're going out.
David, they're going to get the brakes beat
Yeah,
off of them.
exactly.
They are going. They barely beat Clemson without 8 starters. They are going to get the brakes beat off.
If, gentlemen, and I'll present it to you, Florida fans, if somehow Florida can beat Alabama,
No,
does Alabama drop out of the top 4?
no.
Now, does Florida with 2 losses, because
No.
you beat the number 1 team, climb into the top 4? No.
No.
Texas A&M is so right there in your dadgum way that you lost to by 4 or 5 points, and you shouldn't have lost to them at the beginning of the year. That's why Florida, even if they beat Bama, they're not going to jump into the top 4.
No.
That top 4 is going to stay the same
I
unless what Byron said happens. There's a major blowout with Clemson.
Yeah.
Clemson's going.
And then who do you stick in? You got to stick in Texas A&M. Now, I have a problem because there is a team in that top 10 that I like that's getting no love, and that's because they play no schedule.
You know about Chanticleers?
Not Coastal.
Oh, okay, I want about
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Now, the reason they're not giving Cincinnati any love is because you look back last year when they went to Ohio State and they were supposed to play them a good game, and Ohio State shellacked them 45-0.
Nothing. Yeah.
So that's why they're not getting any love. But I'm going to tell you, have y'all seen Cincinnati play?
They're a good football team.
That's a good football team all the way around. And you should
So
know.
far.
Hey, I have a problem them not being higher. They're going to get a New Year's Day game, but they're not going to get a college playoff game. But I just wanted to leave you guys with that. One more thing. Cavante Johnson, the Florida kid that passed out.
Is he doing better?
He is doing better.
He's doing better.
I was going to say, have you got the latest update on him?
No, do you have it?
All right,
Okay.
so doctors this evening, he was transferred from Tallahassee to the University of Florida in Gainesville. He has regained consciousness. They took him off of the ventilator. He is answering simple commands. He's recognizing people, and he is communicating.
Good.
He is on the road to recovery. He remains in critical but stable condition. They expect him to be upgraded to serious condition. They haven't said what happened. We don't know if it was a cerebral accident, something with the brain or something down. At this point, we don't know. It's, again, they're tight-lipped because it's a medical condition at the university. But he has shown progress over the last 36 hours, and they're continuing to see how things go for the next 2 days. The next 48 hours will really tell how he comes out of this one. But he is awake. He's off the breathing tube. He is answering commands. He recognizes people. He's talking. He did speak to the head coach, and so they're cautiously optimistic that he will make a good recovery out of this one. The prognosis at this point still unknown. Let's give it another couple of days and see where we are.
I want to commend Leonard Hamilton and the Florida State staff, and they said we can stop this game right here if you want.
Yep.
It's done. We'll stop it. It's up to you guys. Let me commend Florida because Florida said let's continue playing. We want to play, and we want to play because we're here and we want to play. But Coach Leonard Hamilton, the head coach of Florida State, said, and their players, you should have seen them there. They were all crying.
Oh yeah.
They were all upset about this whole thing. That's what I want to show you, that life is bigger than a basketball game.
Yeah.
And that emotionally affects you. And if you've seen No Nation today, you did. They wrote up a big thing about Mr. Johnson, did they not? Wishing him well. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people. It doesn't matter if you're a Knoll or a Gator.
No one gets something like that.
And I think that's perspective of a lot of times happen. We go back, we banter back.
Oh, sure.
Constantly about
Sure.
college football and the fact that they're a second-rate team. But but after seeing the play, realistically,
Well, at least
Florida,
we don't throw shoes 20 yards down the field.
And we don't have a second-rate defense either.
No, we don't.
But and we can joke back and forth about it. But the truth of the matter is that we are the state of Florida, and
Right.
and we can banter back and forth,
Right.
and we can go after each other. But don't let some Ohio State clown come in and start talking Florida trash, because we'll defend
Right, Dave?
Florida State or anything like that. So, but it was great to see that happen.
My only friends are pirates, I'm telling you.
There you go. So
East Carolina Pirates. Oh, by the way, all right, what do you want to ask me, bro?
Okay, ACC question.
Sure.
What in the world is going on with North Carolina?
Okay. The world beaters 1 week, and then they pick the joint up the next week. I don't know how they just beat Miami by 40 points.
They destroyed.
Yeah, what was it, 40 points, right?
Destroyed Miami.
Miami had an outside shot to get into this thing. And North Carolina goes down there to their place and hands them probably the worst dadgum home loss, almost the worst home loss. Or was it?
It was the worst home loss.
Yeah.
They allowed the most yards in their team's history.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was going to say
The run they had 300 and something yards.
No, 535 yards rushing and 299 yards passing.
Oh, listen to this now. He's not lying.
No,
Listen to this.
That burns.
Yes, it does.
500.
Yes.
And 90.
533,
Oh.
35 yards. Running.
35 yards in one game running.
just rushing.
And 299 passing in one game.
I got tired just watching.
Yeah, it was ugly. I was watching them. I was like, oh, God.
What was the final score?
50 or 49 to 14 or something.
I mean, they just
They was just destroyed. Like they destroyed us at the beginning of the year.
The way it sounds, they should have. It sounds like they should have 80 or something.
Well,
They could have hung
500
80.
yards or more.
could have hung 80 on with that those
Type of stats.
I mean, when's the last time you ever heard a two Division A college teams and one had stats like that?
Yeah.
What's
I don't know. It's Jekyll and Hyde with them. I think they. This has got to be something to do with a little bit of coaching. You know what I mean? Not Matt Brown per se, but some coordinators. I think they get to a Wake Forest where they only win by a touchdown. I think they play to the level of the competition. Is what I'm saying. And I think they need to get out of that rut. We used to do that same thing. Florida used to do that same thing. you play the level of your competition.
I'm going to tell you, if you haven't watched North Carolina play, and
They're
I know
good ball club.
that is a really, really
Yeah.
good football team. And the Seminoles beat them because the Seminoles come out and played up to their talent level.
Right.
In the first half.
Right.
You want
And
to know
then they
what I,
turned around and did the same thing they've been doing all year long, which is played terribly.
Terrible in the second
In the
half.
second
and we was
half,
able to hold on.
and we just had barely held on.
Right.
But that's a good football.
I'll tell you what I would love to see, and I know it's probably going to be like a secondary tier bowl or something like that one, but I would love to see North Carolina and Cincinnati go at it, because I guarantee that one.
You may see that in the New Year's Six Bowl, depending on what happens.
Yeah. I would
Depending on
love
what
to see
happens
that.
in these championship games. That Michael Eater,
I'd
that's
like
possible.
that.
That's a
You
possibility.
want to know who I want to see even more than that?
Who's that?
I want to see North Carolina Notre Dame.
That would be good.
That's what I want to see
Hey,
because
you know
I
that's
want to see
already
Notre
happened,
Dame
right?
get the crud kicked out of them.
You know
again.
that's already happened.
I know. They
Yeah,
lost.
they lost, but that's all right. North Carolina can get their revenge. All right, Don Bailey said it was 62-26. Let's wrap it up, guys. We'll talk some more sports later on. I just wanted to drop that out to you guys. Mike, I'm sorry about that guy throwing that shoe down there and costing that game, but
It was, well, you know what? Straight
I'd
up,
say-
seriously, the Gators deserve to lose, and the only thing that really pains me about this is that I think that one toss also threw away Trask at the high.
I think you're right. And let me tell you something else. Let me tell you what else threw it, just real quick. Florida was in the red zone 8 times. I looked this up. They only scored 4.
That's right.
They used to score it all the time. Florida should have hung 56-62 on these guys.
Easily.
Yeah, should
I
have.
don't know where they were.
Hey,
that
Washington
night.
Wilson
Dave,
screwed that.
Dave, you want to know something else?
Oh, LSU only had 51 players in the whole ball game. By the way.
Oh, yeah,
That's all they brought. That's all they could bring because of
Everybody-
COVID.
I do have one thing as a Seminole fan I want to say.
Okay.
I don't want to ever hear Free Shoes University again.
Yeah, I can't use that one.
No,
you
y'all
don't wanna
can't
go
use
there.
that one.
You don't
Y'all
wanna
can
go
use
there.
something else. Don't do that one, no.
Yeah,
On behalf of Mr. Byron Bagwell, Austin Stevens, real quick. What's the weather? Real quick. 5 seconds.
Got showers and possible thunderstorms moving through tomorrow. Cold weather, patchy frost, Bradford westward and north to I-10, and beautiful weekend ahead with some patchy fog at night.
All right, and Donald Stevens in the back.
It's going to rain.
there you go. Now you say it.
And Dave Holland and Michael Heater. My name is David Rodgers. Good night. God bless you. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next Tuesday night. God bless you.
God bless you. Good night,
Good night,
everybody.
everybody.
Thanks for the cake again, Mom.
Oh, yeah.